If you think I've got two identical SwitchBot vacuum cleaners on this desk, well, you're incorrect. One of them is Pro. But how Pro is that vacuum exactly? We're gonna find out in this video. Hey guys, we are back with SwitchBot, and this is an interesting video to make actually, because SwitchBot has released a Pro version of K10 Plus vacuum cleaner, which I covered in the past. Check out the video in the corner. It's going to explain pretty much everything you need to know about K10 Plus series. But here, let's start with a small rant, because I absolutely hate when companies just simply slap a Pro label on something, especially at the end of the name. So the correct name of this one is Robot Vacuum K10 Plus Pro, which is a mouthful, and it's a very difficult thing to do right for CEO. So I'm just going to refer it to it Pro and K10. I had to double check that because I keep confusing those two, because they honestly look alike. Without having an intimate knowledge, especially if you first time see both of them, you'll be forgiven thinking those are two exactly the same vacuums. And for the most part, you will be correct. Just like K10, the Pro version comes also with a charging and self-emptying dust station, which honestly looks exactly the same as the previous one, with the exception of a gray strip instead of black. I had to double check it as well. So instead of repeating everything I did for the K10 video, I'm just going to focus on differences between the Pro series and the original K10. On the surface, they look alike with very tiny design changes. The form factor is exactly the same. This is probably one of the smallest vacuums you can find on the market right now. But don't be fooled by its small form factor. It's quite powerful. In fact, the Pro version is even more powerful, increasing the suction strength by 20%. So from 2,500 from the K10 series to 3,000 Pascal. How will that translate into cleaning performance? Well, I'm going to find out in this video. But let's focus on what else is new. The second thing that sticks out is, well, the laser LiDAR system for mapping, because the Pro version borrows the one from S10. S10, the SwitchBot S10 was an excellent unattended mopping solution. So if you're interested in that, check it out video. I'm going to be referring to this later on too. So it's good to be familiar with it. The new laser is coupled with a vision system as well that offers better obstacle avoidance, that will in turn brings better battery performance because the hoover is not going to be bumping into stuff. The last change is at the bottom. If you flip them upside down, you'll still see the familiar sensor arrays and brushes, except for the main brush that has a different color, but that's not the only difference. Now, the main brush on the Pro series now is fully rubber. This is exactly the same design as it is featured on S10, proven that it must be a little bit better performing than the traditional brush design that is featured on K10. So with that said, I think we can put the K10 back to its dock and recharge it for testing. And let's focus on, well, cleaning performance on the Pro series. After using this for a couple of weeks, the first thing I've noticed was how much more efficient the Pro series is at pathfinding. Thanks to the new LiDAR and the new vision system, the hoover just doesn't bump into things. It avoids them in advance, providing you already generated the map, and that will speed up the cleaning. It allows me to clean this 120 square meter apartment with about 70 meters of usable, cleanable hard floor spacing, and the battery it's just enough to tackle that in the standard mode. If I'm gonna go to the maximum vacuuming mode, the vacuum will have to go back, recharge itself, and continue with the last room. I'm totally okay with that because for the most part, I'm at work, so I don't even know it happens. I just come back from work to a clean apartment, and I'm happy with it. So is the cleaning performance Pro? Well, to be fair, the K10 was already doing a splendid job that I haven't noticed any improvements in that regard. I mean, the floors are clean regardless of whether I was using a K10 Plus or Pro version. So to quantify that, I took my desk and the test carpet and I spilled some flour and sugar. Sugar imitates great sand and flour is just difficult to remove from surfaces, letting you know how powerful is this as a carpet cleaner. Within a couple of minutes, the vacuum went around the table, cleaning everything there was, and honestly, I was quite impressed with the performance. The carpet was nice and clean without any sugar left in it or flour. However, I did spot a little bit of flour residue on the hard surface, but that's to be expected because without mopping, I'm not aware of any hoovers that would be able to do this. But here's the thing, the very similar cleaning performance was already present on the K10 series. So is it really better? Well, probably is a little bit, but it's not something I could spot with my naked eye. With the carpet fully cleaned, but with some flour residue on my desk, I decided to check out the mopping attachment. If you remember my original K10 video, you know, I slanted that for this being a horrible idea. Now, in theory, using a wet wipes to clean stains from the floor is what we humans do. We grab one, we, massage it in until it's gone, and we are happy with the results. But this is not how things work in a robotic world. Attaching one of these to the hoover might sound like a great idea, but covering the brush that sucks in all the dust at the same time just defeats the purpose. So the only reasonable way of using that mopping attachment without driving yourself nuts is to perform a vacuum first and remove all that debris, and then install the cleaning attachment, the mopping attachment, with a wet wipes provided by SwitchBot and run it again. But to me, that defeats the purpose of automatic cleaning. I don't want to babysit this. I don't want to wait until it's done to run it yet again as a mopping. Yes, it's quiet. Yes, it's not going to be bother you that much. However, this is not how automation is supposed to look like. And SwitchBot already solved this with S10, which provides you with unattended mopping, where the vacuum does its thing, refills the water, removes the dirty water, and leaves everything spotless. But I gave it a go anyway. But I think on the Pro series, SwitchBot has tweaked that slightly, and the pathfinding makes it slightly better, because as I remember, the K10 was spreading that dirt around, but with the Pro series, it's much better of kind of containing all of that on the cloth and keeping it together. So while my desk was clean, I still wouldn't recommend this for mopping. You know how good it is at cleaning? Let's talk about smarts. You get everything that you pretty much got with K10 Plus series, so do check that original video because I'm not going to cover everything. But with the new vision system, I've noticed that it does an excellent job at avoiding obstacles and identifying objects around you and not causing much trouble. It still struggles with USB cables dangling from my charger, so I've noticed that it winched itself couple of times up and I was unable to kind of finish the clean without manual intervention. But that was my fault for leaving the cable on the floor, and it only goes to show how strong that brush is when you can use it to create a makeshift winch, I guess. But once you map your home, you get the access to the usual tools. You'll be able to assign and modify rooms, you can split them, merge them, etc. You'll have access to area or room cleaning, which is nice. And you'll be able to connect that to external assistants like Alexa or Google Home. But let's talk about the biggest problem with the Pro series. And trust me, it's not the mopping. The biggest problem is pricing, because right now, while you can buy the Pro series on sale for $499, the retail price is $599 for this vacuum, making it right now twice as expensive as the original K10 Plus. And yes, I get that you get all of that new tech, however, you do not get twice the performance of the K10. And considering how awesome K10 was with carpets and hard floors, just not the mopping, honestly, I think SwitchBot is shooting themselves in the foot here by offering this, because it's a kind of midway transition between the K10 and the S10, which is brilliant at mopping, but without offering any significant advantages. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Pro series isn't worth its money. It's a great performer for its price as well. However, considering that you can buy two K10s instead, I don't think I would buy a Pro. I'll treat myself to two K10s instead and enjoy a little quirks here and there in terms of pathfinding and still get excellent carpet cleaning performance. And if you're about to drop that much money on a vacuum, you might as well spend a little bit extra and treat yourself to truly unattended mopping with S10 series instead. or just get both and bundle it and get a nice discount. That way, this will cover all your small, inaccessible places that S10 can't get to, and this will take care of the rest. Okay guys, thanks to SwitchBot for providing me this so I could rediscover the Pro series and tell you all about it. It's been exciting years for SwitchBot, and I still have new SwitchBot devices coming. After IFA, they've announced even more cool devices. I'll be covering them soon. As for now, I do not have a posting schedule. If you want to know what's next, well, let's use YouTube tools provided and stay in touch using the social media links down below. You can find them in the description. If you're interested in either K10 Plus or Pro series, I'm going to link them in the description of this video too. And I'll throw the links for S10 because I really think it's one of the best way to look after your hard floors. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!